We are introduced in a classroom where people are talking about the tomorrow's awakening assessment and being curious about what talent will they awaken. Our protagonist, Bro Mo, was told to wake up and not to sleep. He woke up and in a shock, he asked himself where is he in after that memories flooded in his mind. The planet where he is called Blue Star, which is not much different from Earth. But a cataclysmic event 100 years ago changed it completely. The cataclysm began as millions of monsters attacked, causing countless human casualties. Fortunately, the humans were born with unique and unparalleled talents. As long as you are able to pass the awakening trial and change your profession, you can fight with the monsters. The whole world is working hard to cultivate awakened individuals, who also become the elite of the world. Our protagonist froze in a shock as he thought about the similarities between this word and the game he played before called Genesis. He realized that he actually crossed over to a world where the game he once played has merged into reality. Back then he has defeated all players and was just step away from being the top player of all time. Just because of skill cooldown and damage limits, he couldn't handle the constant summoning of monsters by the final boss. He struck his feet at the keyboard, yelling as he was just one step from reaching the summit as God. As he was daydreaming, somebody woke him up. Our protagonist called his name Li Hong and was excited as he didn't expect him to cross over this world too, but Li Hong didn't understand what our protagonist was trying to say and asked if our protagonist was really in the mood for fun and game, saying as even the smart kid are anxious, and asked what was he supposed to do. Our protagonist thought that Li Hong's appearance and personality from his previous life are almost identical, seeming that the interpersonal relationships and living environment in these two worlds are not much different. Li Hong was nervous about the talent awakening assessment, which is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, saying that if he can't pass the tomorrow's school assessment his dad will kill him. Back in the game you could only trigger talent awakening by successfully touching the awakening stone in the novice realm. Li Hong asked for a helping hand as he was facing life-or-death crisis tomorrow, and our protagonist told him to make clear how he can help. Li Hong waved his hand at the back of his head, saying that his demands aren't high as he just need to awaken his talent smoothly and it would be enough to satisfy his dad, continuing to say as our protagonist was in the top 3 in class being full of ideas. Our protagonist taught that games are games and reality is reality, and even if his gaming experience and skills are intact, he is not sure how much this world is connected to Genesis and that he is going to have to check it out himself. As his friend asked if he has figured out a solution, our protagonist told him not to worry as he is going to go to the secret realm first and think about a solution. As the protagonist went going, Li Hong prayed for luck to be on his side and said that if he succeed he is going to treat him to meals. For years. We are introduced to the training Audi, seeing many people there. Our protagonist got to the entrance. He moved in the portal confidently, thinking about seeing what the worlds are looking like when the game and reality are fused. As he entered, our protagonist fell in awe as he saw the Genesis newbie village in front of him. Suddenly the system detected the host binding it in progress. As the system synchronized fully, it showed that our protagonist is level 1. After that a window popped out and it was written on it that the system can transform two active skills that meet the conditions into a new passive skill, and the power of the passive skill is influenced by the character's attributes. Our protagonist was amazed at the system, saying that if it's identical to Genesis this system is too powerful. Then he started explaining that in Genesis that 99% of the skills are active and having cooldown limits. As it's impossible to trigger infinitely, it's easy to reveal vulnerabilities and be counterattacked in battle. But passive skills are permanently active without cooldown restrictions, only triggering under certain conditions, and as the level increase the triggering probability will also infinitely rise. That's why it's so rare. He clenched his fist, saying that in his previous life it wasn't possible to become a god because of skill cooldown restrictions. This time, with the transformation system, maybe it can help him make up his regrets. The system asked him to choose a skill he wants to transform and he selected the one he wanted. He acquired the skill wave / the system explained that the skill wave / is level 1 and that it strikes enemies front with a powerful upward slay, releasing a wave that deals multi-hit damage to enemies within 3 meters. The passive transformation was successful. Our protagonist looked at the blade in his hand in amazement as the system reviewed that the skill he got transformed wave slash was passive, as there is 30% chance to release wave slash when attacking, and after triggering wave slash transforms into a sword energy attack with damage receiving a 1.5 times bonus from strength attributes, and the user becomes invincible for 0.2 seconds. The protagonist waved his sword in the air looking happy as the passive skill actually improved the attack method and added additional damage values as a nice little bonus. Behind our protagonist was a level 3 Minotaur, which was one of the more challenging monsters in the training ground. The Minotaur rushed over our protagonist. This was perfect timing, as it was a good opportunity for some real combat practice. As he swashed at the monster, it was pushed back and a loud explosion was heard. The Minotaur quickly jumped, attacking as it didn't had a single scratch on it. As they were fighting, our protagonist taught that it was not good, as he is only level 1 and thus he can't beat the Minotaur. The monster waved his axe to the head of our protagonist, but he reacted quickly, trying to save himself as his blade broke. He thought it was over. But suddenly his passive skill wave slash activated, saving him from the fatal blow. The system forced the release of wave slash that has 1.5 times damage bonus. Our protagonist moved quickly and forced his blade towards the Minotaur, killing him instantly. After he went closer to the dead body of the Minotaur, he was amazed, as after transforming into a passive skill it did not only solve the cooldown issue but also developed a new damage system, completely solving the problem of failing to reach the summit in his previous life. He quenched his fist, promising himself to make up the regrets of the past and ascend to godhood. We are introduced in a scene where we see Bro Mo killing a monster with his broken sword. After this, a pile of lifeless monsters are seen lying on the ground as our protagonist Bro Mo is exhausted. He thought that in the novice realm training for several hours he finally gained a familiarity with the combat experience of his previous life. As long as he knows in which realm the assessment is in tomorrow, helping Li Hong awaken his talent is not a difficult task. The system asked the host to select the second transformed passive skill. As Bro Mo was shown the system menu, he started thinking about that in the early stages, beginners are usually killed by monsters because their attack power is insufficient and their skill cooldown time is too long. Since the first skill he selected is for attack power, the second skill should be chosen for cooldown. The system displayed that he acquired the skill weapon switch. Weapon switch level 1 after activation within 30 seconds, the cooldown time for switching weapons is reduced by 30%. He looked at himself amazed as his passive skill transformation was successful. He looked at his inventory, saying that there are quite a few basic novice weapons in the backpack, plus the passive effect of weapon switch enabling him quick switching of different weapons during combat. His status window was showed: name Cheng Qianmo, race Inzu, level 1 experience 0 out of 100, strength 20, agility 20, spirit 20, constitution 20, passive skills wave slash level 1 and weapon switch level 1, combat power evaluation 500. Cheng Qianmo hold his fist, saying that the core issue of his weapon switch cooldown is resolved, making the early stage battles like having a built-in cheat code. He entered the portal saying that everything is ready, needing just to wait for the tomorrow's assessment. In the assessment day we see two people asking each other does they have enough healing potions, as Cheng Qianmo is staying at the back. We see Li Hong approaching our protagonist with the map of the today's assessment thanks to his dad's power of money, saying that he is ready. Our protagonist advised Li Hong to speak softly unless he wants others to know that his dad used a backdoor to help him. As Li Hong showed the map, he said that it was a realm chosen by Professor Liu, and that his requirements are strict, suggesting that the difficulty is expected to be high. As Cheng Qianmo looked at it, he remembered that most monsters there are distributed around level 3 to the 10th level, which is not too difficult. Our protagonist asked Li Hong what is the highest level elite monster he can kill. Li Hong answered that even if he go all out he can maybe kill level 5 monster. As Cheng Qianmo didn't expect Li Hong to be that lacking in strength, he said that they can only rely on a backdoor for him. Somebody shouted from a side, mocking Li Hong for using his family's money to take a shortcut. The guy who shouted this was Mao Feng from the class next door, as he continued saying the Li Hong should give up the assessment so he don't end up at the bottom. embarrassing his unlucky father. Those words angered Li Hong. As Cheng Qianmo tried to hold him back, Li Hong wanted to settle things with him today even if it costed him his life. As Mao Feng continued to insult him as a loser. As our protagonist Cheng Qianmo made Mao Feng trip. Saying that there is no need to apologize so formally. Mao Feng got angered, asking our protagonist if he is tired of living. Then he tried to punch Cheng Qianmo. As our protagonist blocked his fist, Mao Feng asked himself how is he so strong. Our protagonist asked him does he dare to bet about Li Hong results, saying that his results are going to be better than his. Mao Feng started laughing, doubting what they heard. Mao Feng said that he doesn't mind to accept a bet with certain victory, but he is going to set the stakes as the loser has to run 10 laps around the playground naked and shout the other person's dad's name 3 times. Cheng approved the bet confidently. As people heard about the bet, they started talking about it, saying that the difference between the two is not a small one, as it is simply giving away the bet for free. Li Hong was scared, asking Cheng Qianmo if he is crazy, as how could he do it. Cheng Qianmo said to him to believe in him. Li Hong asked believe in what, as he just wanted to pass the assessment, brag to his dad and ask for some pocket money, questioning why is Cheng Qianmo making a deal out of him. Cheng Qianmo said to just listen to him. He whispered something to his ear. After that, Li Hong asked if Cheng Qianmo is sure about it, as Cheng Qianmo confirmed affirmatively. After Li Hong screamed the top of his lungs, happily shouting that today he will make Mao Feng run while shouting, "Dad." Zhang Lei, the grade director of Jiangcheng College, which was second-tier awakened, declared that the assessment officially begins. He asked the students to enter the teleportation point one by one. As Li Hong flexed his muscles, said to our protagonist to wait and see his performance. We are introduced to the Flame Fisher. As Cheng Qianmo entered, he felt a strange sense of familiarity, as it has been a long time since he played a beginner's dungeon. As he glanced towards his back, he saw level 2. Ugly green-skinned beasts which were low-level monsters. He brought out his sword from his inventory. It was indeed different from the weakened monsters in the training ground, thinking that dealing with 5 at once is a bit challenging. Out of nothing the system appeared, saying that it detected that the host has a massive amount of operational experience, now all converted into instinctive body movements. He was Shauka, as operational experience can be converted into a passive skill too. As the system said that the operation was completed, he felt his body completely different. Some time passed and our protagonist has killed all of the monsters. The system congratulated him on leveling up to level 2, gaining 4 free attribute points. He was congratulated again on leveling up to level 3, as he get 4 more attribute points. Cheng Qianmo was excited, as he never tough that by special killing 5 monsters he can level up twice in a row. As he was running, he tough that it was much more interesting than the virtual game Genesis from his previous life. The counter was changing rapidly. As somebody said to look, as there is a name rapidly rising on the leaderboard. As we see our protagonist is in first place. As people recognized him, they said that they had a hidden genius in their school whom they haven't heard of before. Zhang Lei was interested if Cheng Qianmo will have any other surprises. Please subscribe to our channel to support us and motivate us to continue making videos. As always, the name on the manhwa will be in the comments.